What's up? It's been a while and I'm back for a quick review on the Rep times PÉPIN adjustable dumbbells. I'm gonna be taking you through the unboxing. I'm going to be doing a few exercises with the dumbbells, and then at the end I'm also gonna be giving you my final thoughts. Now if you don't want to stick around for the whole video and you just want to know if you should buy these or not, I got you. Heck yes! Use my link, help me out a little bit. I do get a small commission. It doesn't change the price on you. You've seen this, heard this before. But seriously though, if you're looking for an adjustable dumbbell set, these are not a bad way to go. Obviously, it's a little bit on the pricey side in comparison to just buying a few fixed dumbbell pairs. But for the price, for what you're getting, and if you're trying to save space, the handles on these, like, it's comfortable. Like, I've used it for a full arm day, so that's a lot of tricep work, a lot of bicep curls. And the handles were solid. They were aggressive, but not too aggressive where it would get uncomfortable using them for long periods of time. They do start as slow as a 10-pound weight, and they go up to 125 depending on what you decide. And you can change the increments in 2.5 pounds. So technically, I mean, you have like a 10-pound to 12.5 to 15-pound all the way through to 125. So 2.5-pound changes. Pretty solid. You're not going to be able to do that with a fixed dumbbell. It's going to save you some money if you buy these individually from 10 up to 125 in pairs. That's a lot of money, not just on the dumbbells, but you're also going to have to be purchasing storage for them. So those are my two long don't want to watch reasons for buying these dumbbells. Now with all of that said, let's jump into the unboxing, the cradle assembly, dumbbell assembly, some exercises, quick spec breakdown, and my final thoughts. You can actually buy the Rep times PÉPIN adjustable dumbbell at either the 85-pound, the 105-pound, or the 125. Depending on what you did end up purchasing, that's where you're going to place this little plate so that it holds in your actual adjustable dumbbell. I went with the 125. I just kind of said YOLO. Hopefully I won't need another pair of dumbbells again. So if you do want to start with 85-pounders and maybe see if you actually do need more weight, or if you don't have the cash to buy the 125, then you can start with the 85 and then kind of just buy additional weights to work your way up to 125, and you'll be able to adjust the plate accordingly. So that's pretty cool. So I guess these are called dovetails, and the instructions state not to over tighten when you're first putting these into place, to make sure that the dumbbell slides in and out easily. Alright, so there were 3 of these boxes and I was wondering how the heck this was going to work out. But I guess my math doesn't work out as well as Rep's math. So it seems like it's going to be 12 and 12. So half of one box is going to one of these dumbbells and the rest is going to the other. I was like wondering, I was like, what the heck? 3 boxes, but makes sense now. Alright, I'm pretty sure I got the count right. Okay, I guess not. I told you what my math wasn't mathing. I literally just said half of this box goes on one of these and the other half goes on the other. So I need to get rid of 4. Now that should be right. There we go. This gap right here is where the smaller, like 2.5 plates. They just go with the pop pin. So just pull this out and then that's in there. It doesn't seem like it, but yep. So you just pull on the little pop pin when you don't want them, take it out, and then that's in there now. So not too bad. I'm gonna have to stand for this. Oh, that's gonna take a little bit of practice. Nope. See. I have this a little too loose. That's fine though, that's the whole point of this. Also doesn't help that I'm doing this on this bench. It's not exactly stable. Yep, that moves. Ooh, that's not good. I'll make sure to fix that. Alright, so I tightened it down. Here we go. Oh man. Yeah, there's a strange height for this, but anyways, that's it. I'm gonna put together the other one and then get into it. I'm excited to try these out, get a few workouts in, and report back to see how I like them, things to keep in mind and whatnot. This actually has taken me a little bit of getting used to. I think because of the way I look down on this, like it doesn't seem like this little pin is centered, but then I go to the side and I see that it is on the 50. So like from the top, I don't know if it's just me or what, but it just seems a little off. I could just be tripping, but anyways. And you know that I have to try and get something with the full stack because come on, what would be the fun in not doing it? Alright, this is going to be a complete bro lift, or lack thereof, because I kind of doubt that I'll be able to even get this anywhere near my chest, but for science. What a joke. Let me try the right. I think kind of feel the right is surprisingly weaker than my left, so yep, I did get a little bit smarter this time and actually put these dumbbells on my Titan box squat thing because I got tired of bending over and picking them up from the ground, especially when you get to the heavier stuff. At least that's what I learned from my back day, so this should make a pretty big difference. It'd be nice to see when they come out with the actual stands for these too, so The good thing about these not being perfect circles is that the odds of them rolling away from you, or rolling off a bench or rolling off whatever you set them on, it's just unlikely to happen. So I do appreciate that. So usually when I do shoulders, whether it's lateral raises or front raises or whatever, I either go from like 20 to 35 or 35 to like 20, and I do it in increments of 5s. I think this is gonna be maybe the most like time consuming part, is literally taking these out with the pop pin, the 2.5 change plates. It's not that big a deal, and you've already noticed like when I'm doing like the lateral raises, like they stay in place. Like there's nothing to say that they're gonna pop out at any moment. They're fairly secure. It does take a little bit of getting used to, because you're just in your mind, you're like, is this gonna pop out? Is this gonna pop out? I haven't had any issues with it yet. In exercises like the lateral raise, I'm sure you've seen where they say you should kind of lean it like you're pouring water out and then do the lateral raise. If you do have the 2.5 plates in the front, you can add a little bit of lean to it so that it kind of happens a little bit more naturally. Something you will probably notice with these dumbbells, I mean, they are adjustable, is just some rattling. And you might be thinking that it could be because of the change plates, but it's not. Let me show you. It takes a bit of getting used to, in the sense that with a fixed dumbbell, like you're not gonna get any of those sounds. So it could potentially like, I mean, it just throws you off a little bit in the beginning when you're getting used to them. But after that, not so much. Also, you're not gonna get movement in the sense that like it's gonna throw off your rhythm or your exercise. You're probably wondering how safe these 2.5 plates are on here. Like how good are these push pins? Is it gonna stay in place if I do overhead type exercises? Just to show you, might as well kind of put it to the test, right? Anyway, just so you can see, 2.5 plates aren't going anywhere. One thing that I really like about the dumbbells is that the ends don't bother your legs when you go and rest the dumbbell on them, which is pretty awesome, especially for exercises where you put them on your legs to get into position for like the dumbbell bench press, or for like these shoulder exercises. So it's like the little things. Just because some adjustable dumbbells can be pretty awkward, and this was a concern of mine when I first picked these up, but doesn't seem to be a problem. So as I was doing shrugs, it kind of helped keep the dumbbell in place so that it wouldn't rotate or wouldn't continue to rotate on me. So I was able to hold onto my grip a little bit longer. There are some movements where you definitely hear like the rattling a bit more. Hammer curls for sure. It's one of those, in comparison to like when you do dumbbell like back rows, it hasn't been a big deal for me. The other thing is these little pull pins, like they can be kind of funky. For whatever reason, like some of these don't stay down, like just permanently down. It hasn't been an issue when I actually go to use it. It doesn't get in the way, even if I'm like on the edge. One other thing that I would mention is that I'm always wearing an Apple Watch, and that was a big concern for me when I picked these up. I wasn't sure if this was gonna get in the way, but I've done a good amount of exercises already. It has not been an issue for me, so that's definitely a sigh of relief. Oh, transition in real time. The change plate wasn't too awkward as far as like having my hands over it. I do hold it like this when I go and do it. Let me try without the change plate. Maybe it feels a little bit better in hand versus having the change plate in here. Actually feels pretty good. I think if I'm doing overhead tricep extensions with a single dumbbell, I'll probably do them without the change plate in here. I'm gonna try and hold it by the guardrail. I feel like I'd be more concerned about accidentally pushing the pop pin thing out. Not a fan of that, but I mean, it would work if you really wanted to go that route. So I don't usually mess with the goblet squats, but because I do want to get like a few different positions as far as like where you would hold the dumbbell, just to kind of see what it feels like. Never done them, so don't judge my technique. This is 55, so it does have the change plates in here. I do have a feeling that this would probably be more comfortable if I took the change plates out. So I am gonna take this off. Yeah, that's enough. So it actually feels pretty good for those. Again, my first time doing goblet squats. I might be doing these more often. Probably one of the few movements where you're not hearing a lot of rattling. Definitely a lot more comfortable to hold it without the change plate. Mainly because if you're holding it the way I do, or I guess the way you normally hold these, you're gonna end up holding it all awkwardly because of these ends. So yeah, outside of that, pretty solid for this movement. Initially, I was a little concerned that maybe these would be a little too wide, where it would get in the way doing that type of movement since it's so close to the chest, like on the side. But it seems like it's the right size. Yeah, not terrible. Let's get into the specs real quick. The dumbbells are all metal. The handles themselves, these are nickel plated. According to a quick Google search that I did, most fixed dumbbells have 25 millimeter diameter. So that is a pretty big difference in comparison to this, which is a 34 millimeter. For reference, I have ergo fixed dumbbells up to 40 pounds. And anything below 15 pounds is a 28 millimeter diameter, which is pretty significant difference versus the adjustable dumbbell. But anything 15 pounds and above is actually 34 millimeters, so it does match the adjustable dumbbell diameter. The knurling on it, it's not too aggressive. It's aggressive enough to where you don't feel like these are gonna fall out of your hands, you're not gonna lose your grip. I have used these for a long period of time, especially on arm day, and these have been comfortable to where I don't have any issues working out for an hour or whatnot. The weight markings on these, they are laser etched, so you don't have to worry about these like peeling off because it's not a sticker. Now, as far as the cradles where the dumbbells sit, these things, they're fairly sturdy. So they're about 10 pounds and they do have UHMW liner so that there isn't metal on metal contact when you're placing these in. The cool thing about the cradle is that they are adjustable, so if you are thinking about starting with the 85-pound dumbbells, you can also size up to 105 and then 125. So you do have some wiggle room and it will be the same cradle for it. All right, so I went through the unboxing, I went through some exercises. I'm pretty sure I covered most of the specs on these. As far as my final thoughts, the biggest complaint that I have is the fact that I waited over half a year for these dumbbells. I did pre-order them when they first came out, so like back in April, and they did have a bit of delays, so that really stunk. But with that said, I've been able to use them for every single exercise that I've wanted to use them for. I love the fact that they don't take up a lot of space. So if that's a thing for you, then these are definitely an awesome route to go. I wanted pro style dumbbells, but it's a lot of money and it would take up so much more space. And not to mention the fact that I would also have to buy the storage for them. The fact that I have this with one pair is awesome. And the fact that I can jump in 2.5 pound increments, even better. So for me, the purchase has been definitely worth it. With that said, there are some cons. I mean, these are adjustable dumbbells. There is a bit of rattling. I try to capture some of that during the exercise portion of the video, so I'm sure you heard. The other thing that I mentioned during the exercise was just this little push pin thing. It's just kind of weird. It doesn't just stay down, so that's kind of annoying. Now, it will actually be nice once rep does come out with the stands for these. Right now, I leave them on the floor or I put them on this plyo box just so that I'm not completely having to kneel all the way down to pick them up, especially when I'm going heavier weight. I mean, it's not a complete bust obviously, but it's just something I'm definitely looking forward to. Rep just continues to get my money. When you're in here and it's cold as F in the garage, it's nice to know that I don't have to be changing between a warm handle on dumbbells that I've just used over to a cold handle and just getting cold hands every single time. It's like a reset, especially in the winter time. So that's just a little call out, little bonus. I'm very happy with the purchase. It's only been 2 weeks, but so far so good. I can see myself using these for as long as they last me. Now I know I didn't do a single drop test, but I spent some hard-earned money on these. So I'm not trying to drop test them. And I honestly don't need to. I've seen plenty of other videos where they do drop test them. So I really didn't need to do that myself. That's it. I'm sure I missed something about them. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to get back to you. If you decided that you're gonna make the purchase, please use the link in the description. It doesn't change the price on you, but it does kick off a little bit of a commission to me. That's it. Thanks again for watching. This is your boy LJ, and I'll catch you next time.